All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Esports Podcast. I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brock.
Hello.
And this is week 6 of the LMS. Last week we both went 3-3. It was a pretty solid week. We had a few wrong. But then we had a few games different, and we split on our differences. To let my dog out because she's being crazy. Okay, she doesn't want out. She's just gonna be a mess today, so she's gonna stay in here. And there's a firework before the stream, so she's been freaking out about it. Anyway, let's get straight to predictions. No, Sandy. uh, all right, or not predictions. Games. Game number 1 was
Sort of predictions.
basically predictions from last week.
Predictions from last week, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of predictions from last week, we were wrong. This was Alpha Esports versus G-Rex, and this was a blowout. Like, straight up, not too much to talk about in this game, at least. It was just clean sweep, nothing really weird. You have Urgot, you have Jarvan, you have Lissandra, you have Ashe. Straight 13 to nothing. It wasn't a perfect game because PK did get 2 towers, but that really didn't matter at that point anyway. And just all around great win for Alpha, who I did not expect to win this game.
Did not either. Yeah, it was a pretty solid win.
Yeah,
Pretty
especially
dominant
because
win, too.
yeah, they had a near perfect game, and then the next one after that, to see Sandy in the background, she's like digging on my bed. But next game was 16-3. Alpha Esports was just crushing them again, and we saw PK's Volibear again, but this time it didn't work out as well as it did the first time. Wait, 0-4 this time around.
That's tough, and that's against a Urgot.
This is
Said
still
the name right that time.
Yeah, 9.2 this patch though, still in LMS. For
Oh,
some
it
reason,
is.
LPL is still playing on 9.2. I was very lucky that I won my RNG pick. Spoiler alert: RNG beat Fun Plus Phoenix today, and yeah, I was very lucky I won that because I just assumed they were on 9.4, but they're gonna be on it Friday, I heard. But it's about time. We're on 9.5 in live as of today.
Mhm.
Like solo queue, and you're 3 patches behind, pretty much.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Next next series we had Dragon Gate versus Mad. This game was actually it was okay. It wasn't like super close, but Dragon Gate came out the gate, pun intended.
No.
And they were pretty dominant. I mean, obviously, First Blood went straight to Jace or Ling on Mad. Liang. And but yeah, after that, it was a mountain, Rift Herald, a tower. They started crushing it. They threw a little bit. They did give up the Baron in a few kills at around the 27-minute mark, which threw their gold lead from 6.8k to 3.2k. But they were ultimately able to still recover. They were still so far ahead at that point. They were still able to get some inhibs and another Baron, their first Baron, their second Baron. Sorry, another Baron, and just close out the game. It was very solid, especially considering this is Mad versus Dragon Gate, and we expect Dragon Gate to get crushed considering Mad's the best team in the LMS and Dragon Gate's like the worst team.
Yeah.
Also,
Heimerdinger pick was nice.
Liking the Heimerdinger pick. Unlike the Volibear, it's worked 2 weeks in a row with Heimerdinger.
Yeah. That's an interesting pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, now that, what's the Banner of Commands not there, it's a strange pick because that was like a pretty good cheesy pick against stuff kind of like the Cassiopeia.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, even without Banner Command, Heimerdinger has always been... He's played in the bot lane a bit last year. But, yeah, you don't see it too much right now. LMS is the only region to bring it out.
Yeah.
Sadly,
it's not bot lane. We're finally seeing Heimerdinger back in the mid lane.
Yeah. In game 2, they banned it. So they were... Mad was not dealing with that crap anymore. That's like the cheese crap that you just hate to go against. And after that, Mad just completely dominated this game. Rock had a monster game on the Urgot, 7-1. Uniboy on Cassiopeia against Zoe, which is a big counter in my opinion. The Cassiopeia just can stop Zoe a lot with her miasma. went 6-0-7 to Zoe's 1-4. Moonblack did not look very strong. With Breeze also stepping up as well at the ADC. Ezreal Tom Kent is so obnoxious though. It's just with cleanse flash Tom Kent, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
Ga-
and JGY really didn't look good this game either on the Kindred pick.
Yeah, the Kindred pick did not work well. You want to know what didn't work well at all? Game number 3 for Dragon Gate. 30-6 kill wise, and a 8 gold advantage, which is actually kind of low for a 30-6 game if you think about it. Which makes sense because Rock got almost Flame Horizon by 2188, and even though he was more team fighting on the Scion. And they lost actually farm in every single lane, it looks like, except for support. They had it by 3, but they made up for that in kills.
Yeah, you know what's even more strange about hearing like a 30-something and 5, 30-something and 6 game is the fact that Galio had most of your kills.
Yeah, full AP
Like,
Galio on the
nerfed.
Yeah, the nerfed Galio is insane. Also, Moonblack that had another horrible game on the Vladimir. Also banned Heimerdinger, and they banned his Zoe, even though Zoe went 1-4 the previous game. But yeah, they really pinched Moonblack's champion pool. Went over to Vladimir and 0-7.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not the prettiest, and not just that. Soul went 1-9 on the Lucian. You don't see 9 deaths very often.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's hard to solo out one person on this team who played bad because they all played bad.
It was ugly all the way around. Though relatively equal gold lead. Now I'm like looking at the actual gold lead. Like you look at kills and you just assume blowout, you know, and that's like when I'm watching it and stuff as well. And like, but. Actually, Dragon Gate was able to get a lot of towers in a row there. They got about 5 towers to 1 to start the game. And then everything turned around.
Look at the CS difference in top lane.
Yeah. And CS difference in every lane, honestly, was Dragon Gate won CS in every lane except for support. And, like, Dragon Gate was actually winning this game for the first 22 minutes of it, even though it looks like such a big blowout. And it wasn't until... But they were giving up so many kills, but Mad just wasn't capitalizing on that. They weren't capitalizing on objectives for their kills, which was blight against them, which hopefully they can improve on, because I think they are the favorite of LMS, but you got to capitalize on your kills if you're going to do anything at MSI. And I think Mad will be the team at MSI at the moment, but you don't know. LMS is quite crazy.
Yeah, you really don't know.
Next, we had AHQ versus HKA, and this was a very sort of close game. Not really. This was all HKA until the end. HKA was literally dominating this first game for the most part but like they were dominating gold wise because they were just simply out farming AHQ. Our AHQ is very similar to what Mad was doing, except they weren't really winning the fights, you know, where you could see here oh my god, HQA, oh my god. HKA and AHQ is very hard to say at the same time. HKA was up about 6k gold for the longest time here. That's a 14-minute 6k gold lead right there. But a 6k gold lead at 16 minutes is significantly more than a 6k gold lead at 30 minutes. And eventually, even though they got Baron, they lost all their key members at that Baron, and because of that, AHQ was actually able to just push up and immediately take the Nexus Tower pretty much. They won one more team fight after they had cleared all the Baron buffs off of HKA immediately, and the next team fight they fought, they had the confidence obviously because they finally won a team fight, and they just took another one. And HKA also had a very early game comp with the Renekton and the Lee Sin compared to the Lissandra and Urgot Jarvan of the previous team of AHQ.
The one thing I will say about the game one is I feel like people are actually starting to listen to us now with the Silas pick. We didn't see the Iceborne Gauntlet. We actually seen the Spirit Visage.
Yep.
Instead, which I'm completely okay with, and we're seeing the Lich Bane.
Yep.
This is how Silas should be played for me.
Yep.
Like how I think it should be played.
And even in game 2, he's got the Lich Bane again, and then the Hextech Protobow, which I also think is a solid pickup on him. And he's building into Zonias, and he's got a Oblivion Orb. Like it's like that's how I think Silas should be played. Maybe a Spirit Visage would have, maybe not. He was only going against Lissandra. And speaking of people that didn't have a good game, HKA's mission oof, he went 1-7 on
Yeah, that's
Lysandre.
not
He just
good.
got destroyed to Rainbow, even though Rainbow was only 3-3. Alex helped a lot with the ganks, to be fair, but that's you don't type that in the chat. You type better mid
Yeah,
wins easily. That's 3 kills, by
always.
the way, before 6 minutes against Mission. It's ugly. 4 kills before 10 minutes or 11 minutes. Like that's not good.
No,
Very
that's
rough
not good.
game for him. And then they just snowballed off that. Lee Sin was able to build up that pressure that farm. Oh my God, he's getting fed early, but he was able to build that pressure up off of that getting fed to pressure the bot lane and the top lane, and give Ziv and Waco a lot more of a chance to win. Especially Waco. Waco popped off as well. It's 7-1-5. He Kawing did not have a very good. He missed a lot of hooks this game. I noticed. But with that would be that series. That was a surprising series as well. I was not expecting that. Next,
Those,
what did you have to say?
uh, what did I have to say? Ah,
It doesn't matter.
wait, that was. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I
Well,
was getting. I had two different games confused.
got it. Flash Wolves versus J Team. This was supposed to be a much closer series than it actually was. 18-2,
Also,
first game. Flash Wolves just obliterated. Boogie, I think that's how you say it, just destroyed Hana in the jungle. Man, not you know see a Jarvan go 9-0-9 very often. You know.
no.
Whole team looked bad. Rather pushed up against Fofo, which is surprising because I love Fofo. Betty was popping off like usual. I still think Betty's the best player in the LMS. And Hanabi also played very well in the Cyan. I think he's also up there as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to forget like how impactful junglers can be.
Yeah.
And then when you have a jungler who's 0-4, people also forget how much you need your jungler to not be 0-4.
Yeah. Game two was a much closer game. It was up and down for the most part the whole game. Like literally, look at this graph. Like up here to about 1K, then down all the way to 2 game, then up to even, then up to 2K, then down to even, then up to 2K, then down to even, up to 2K, down to even, up to 2K, down to even. Like,
Yeah.
it was very close. It was really back and forth. Boogie did not have nearly the game he did before with that 9-0-9 Jarvan. 1-5-4 does not work that well. That's why it was a lot closer. They also picked the Heimerdinger though, but it didn't work great into Zoe. Fofo on Zoe was actually really carrying hard at the 3-1-4 scoreline. I thought he just was getting out pushed. Every time he would go to roam, Heimerdinger would just be like, okay, I'm pushing the mid lane now.
Yeah.
And then Betty popped off again because like I said, Betty is the best player in the LMS in my opinion. And Hanabi also went 4-0-7. So this game was really won through Betty and Hanabi, right? This one, and Fofo didn't have enough help on his side to. Breaker had a really rough game on the Karthus jungle, 2-7-8.
Yeah, I don't think Carlos Chung was a good pick anymore. I think it was good when people wasn't expecting it. And now, like, people are kind of understanding that, yeah, Karthus is going to have a 6, and eventually he's going to get items. But what you want to do is almost any jungler can counter jungle Karthus.
Yeah, you can really counter jungle Karthus hard.
So I'm not a fan of the pick. I think it could be decent into certain jungle matchups, but even though Boogie didn't like his score wasn't great, I still don't think Karthus would have been a good pick in this.
Oh no, it's terrible in Zinzao. Zinzao can abuse the crap out of it.
Yeah,
But J Team did lose. They were able to bounce back in their next series, which is the very next series, next day, obviously. But J Team versus Dragon Gate, Fofo popped off in this series. He just destroyed. Moonblack had a very bad week, by the way. He had one great game on the Heimerdinger. He brought it out in this one, and it did not work against Fofo's LeBlanc. Fofo just absolutely destroyed. Not to mention Lil. Is that how you say that? I'm not positive. The issue with LMS is I don't get. There's no English broadcast at all, so like I'm on my own with the names. Usually with like LPL or like LEC and stuff. Like, oh, I get the names from like the English broadcasters. Nope. So I got to come up with them on myself, and that's not a good thing. But yeah, him and Koala popped off for J Team in the bot lane. It was all around good. Like just Dragon Gate looks pretty bad. They did take a game off Mad, which was very impressive, but outside of that one game they took, the next 4 games they played, all of them were pretty ugly. And then Fofo popped off again. You don't let the man who goes 6-0-6 against you on the LeBlanc go LeBlanc again without banning it. And he goes 14-1-6 the next game. That's insane. And Lil
Yeah, and
also went 9-1
that
and 9
yeah, and that's actually really bad
because that's
on
into Lysandra.
Moonblack. Yeah, because that is a very hard counter to LeBlanc is
Yep.
Lysandra.
And even Sivir is a counter into Ezreal because she can block his Mystic shots. That didn't work out too much either. This is just purely J Team has a lot more skill than Dragon Gate in that sense,
Yeah.
and they just overpowered them with the skill advantage. Silas playing support Silas at that 0-4-17 on top lane. Yeah, but it was all they just powered through. You can see they won big team fights like here, here, and here. It was all big team fights. And what did they do immediately after? If every time you see a big circle, you need if for pro play and solo queue, you wish, but it doesn't happen. You want to see exactly what comes right after that. Here we see a Baron. Two towers, another two towers. So they took 4 towers immediately off of that. In 3 minutes after getting that big team fight, they had a Baron and 4 towers off of it.
Yeah.
And after this team fight, they had 4 towers in inhib and another tower and 2 inhib. So it's always they capitalized perfectly. They played a great game. It was a nice recovery from J Team. And finally, we had HKA versus Mad. Mad just crushed HKA had a very bad week. They went 0-2 this week, and I was just expecting high things from them. And I even had them beating Mad here in an upset. That was completely wrong. They just absolutely just lost. The Eminem on Vayne did not look good. He did not look like he was going to carry. Breeze was just overpowered him completely with the Ezreal. And then they went to him on the Xayah next, and he went 1-4. It was even worse. And Breeze dominated him with the 8-0-2 Kai'Sa game. It was just absolutely demolition by Mad Team. And they definitely solidified themselves as the number one team in the LMS. With that, let's go to our players of the week. First up, we had top laner for the week was Hanabi on Flash Wolves. He had KDA of 15, CSM of 8.4. He had a lower damage percentage, but he's mostly tanking, so that's okay. Jungler of the week was Alpha Esports WSY, or Wizzy?
What was he?
Wizzy. KDA of 25, average assist of 9, damage percentage of 15.4, and a DPM of 276. Mid laner of the week was Mad's Uniboy. He had a KDA of 11.6, a CSM of 8.5, damage percentage of 26.9, and a DPM of 540. ADC of the week was Mad's Breeze. He had a KDA of 13.5, CSM of 9.2. We were talking about against HKA. He popped off in both those games. He had a damage percentage of 34.2% and a DPM of 694, mostly because of those two games. And finally, support of the week was Alpha Esports Skull. He had a KDA of 23, an average assist of 10.5, and a vision score per minute of 2.04. And with that, let's get straight to our power rankings. First up, we both have Mad Team number 1, obviously. They're 7-1 right now, looking pretty solid. They've had a few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, they're looking good. They lost in week 2. They haven't lost since, but they are losing a game every now and then. They're not clean sweeping people. I'm like tongue-tied today. I don't know what it is. Flash Wolves, I kept at number 2. You moved them up to number 2. Obviously, they beat J Team, and we had differences last week. I thought Flash Wolves was slightly better than J Team. You thought J Team was slightly better than Flash Wolves. I was right this time, but you never know. But obviously,
Yeah, with these teams,
yeah,
you literally don't know who's going to win what.
You do not know. And we both have J Team number 3, obviously, and I actually had J Team number 4 last week, but I had HKA number 3, and I was all on that hype train, and that hype train died up immediately. Imagine that, right? I was curious. I have HKA 5. You have him 4. Why do you have him above AHQ this week?
That was honestly a mistake on my part. Like I was telling Will before we did the podcast, I was just coming home from work. As I was putting my power rankings down, I forgot who played who, so I just looked at the standing in the middle one.
Got it. Yep.
And then as we're doing the podcast, I got thinking, I was like, wait a minute.
HQ crushed.
HKA just beat
Yeah,
Hong Kong.
yeah. HQ crushed HK.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. I'm going to have to discuss this during
Yeah.
the power rankings.
Good, good, good. I was very curious about that when you gave that to me. I was going to bring it up, but now I know why. And then we have Alpha Esports number 6. We have actually the exact same power rankings. Look at us. That just
Yeah.
means we know everything, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I think so. I think so.
Yeah. That means when you see our predictions coming up next, they're all going to be the same and they're all going to be correct. To be fair, I've had 2 6-0 weeks here.
The
But
best part about our predictions this week, if you think about it, each person ahead of the other one, except Mad, beat the person below them.
yep.
Flash Wolves beat J Team, AHQ beat Hong Kong, Alpha beat G Rex, and
Yep.
Dragon Gate lost to everybody.
Yep. That's how it goes. All right, let's get into predictions. Also, I just want to point out I am undefeated this week, guys. I am 6-0 in LPL. So, gonna keep that going tomorrow, right?
I think so.
With the LCK and LMS, my two best regions at the moment. My two regions with undefeated weeks, two undefeated weeks each. Anyway, let's HQ versus Alpha Esports to start. I have AHQ winning this game 2-1. I think that Alpha Esports surprisingly takes a game every now and then. They have also won a few games. I've 2 games at 2-5. But AHQ looks pretty good right now. I've actually wrote them off at the end of the year as like one of the worst teams in the league. I'm pretty sure I had them. Yeah, I had them as the worst team in the league in week 1. I thought they looked terrible. They did look terrible, frankly, but they've actually really stepped it up. I feel like they've improved every week. They're getting better and better, and this week will be no different. I think they go 2-1 and beat Alpha.
I agree with everything you just said. I think AHQ is going to take this one 2-1.
Nice. Next, we have Mad versus J Team. I love Fofo on J Team, but I think I don't think he has enough pieces around him. I think Mad is looking good. They might drop a game because again they always drop a game. I feel like they're never looking super clean, which is worries me for the LMS when it comes to MSI this year. I don't see like a standout team at the moment. Mad is the closest thing to that, and Uniboy against Fofo will be really enjoyable to watch. But I think I just think Lilv, yeah. I don't know his actual name. It's Lilv. I think that's how you say it. But I'm just gonna call him Lilv, and he won't be able to match with Breeze. I think Breeze is just gonna flat out dominate this series, and I think Uniboy can keep Fofo in check, and I just think that will be enough to stop J Team. I think this will actually be a 2-0 by Mad.
Yeah. A question here is that a capital I or is that a lowercase L? Is that live? Because Fofo is capital F, capital F.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I wish this is the times I wish I had an English broadcast because sadly, spoiler, I don't speak Mandarin.
Yeah,
So,
we don't speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I think Fofo is good, and I think Uniboy has solidified himself as one of the top mid laners.
One top players,
And,
even.
Yeah, top players. So I do think Mad's going to take this one 2-1.
I think it's a
I
little.
think this is going to be a very enjoyable game to watch, though.
Definitely. Most LMS is enjoyable if you just want to see clown fiestas.
Yes.
Maybe this one won't be so enjoyable.
Yeah, this one not so much.
Flash Wolves versus Dragon Gate. I think Dragon Gate's better than Jin, but I think Flash Wolves are pretty good. So I think if any team is gonna give Mad a run for the money to make it to MSI, it's gonna be Flash Wolves. I have them winning 2-0 against Dragon Gate. I just think Betty and Hanabi are way too good.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fairly easy 2-0.
Next, we have AHQ versus G-Rex. I'm done with G-Rex. I've wanted them to succeed. I love their logo. I love PK in the top lane. I've probably talked about PK so many times this year. I think he's one of my favorite players in the LMS. He just made a big name at Worlds, I thought, for me personally. And, yeah, I'm done. PK has not looked fantastic, and frankly, he's looked okay, though. But he hasn't. His team has really been pretty bad this year. Like GX looks really bad this year, and AHQ, like we said before, is on the rise in my opinion, and they're making a threat for playoffs to be a dark horse in my opinion. Actually, I would almost rank AHQ just as about up there with J Team at the moment. So AHQ 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just like you said,
Look at that.
I don't think G-Rex has enough to beat AHQ.
Yeah. I think G-Rex can beat Dragon Gate and stay competitive with Alpha, but frankly, they didn't stay competitive with Alpha. They just played. Alpha beat them 2-0.
Yep.
Next up, we have Flash Wolves versus Hong Kong Attitude, and I'm going with Flash Wolves here because Hong Kong Attitude is on the exact opposite of what you'd call a win streak or a hot streak with 0-2 loss last week. I also think Betty and I think Mission had a terrible week, and usually Mission's had really good weeks, so he could bounce back. That is possible, but I frankly just don't see it. I think, like I've said before, I think Betty's the best player in the LMS, and I think that HKA's bot lane is not great. So Betty should be able to get fed off of that, and they should be able to take the game, or the games, I should say. And I think this one will be a 2-1 Flash Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, we know AHQ, not AHQ, sorry, Hong Kong has the ability to beat high-level teams because they beat Mad in week 2.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like you said, they're just really not showing it right now.
I just don't think Eminem is going to be able to compete with Betty at all.
And that's saying something because we love Eminem.
So you had Flash Wolves as well?
Yeah, I've got Flash Wolves as well.
Brock, you are one game ahead of me, and we need a different pick here.
I feel like this could be an upset, though. Like, I feel like something could happen when they could just go back to week 2, how they beat Mad, play like that.
Mm-hmm. They could.
I mean, they've already lost to Flash Wolves in week 1. But they took a game off of Flash Wolves in week 1, though. So
that is true. That is true.
So, you really do not know with this region.
Yeah, I feel like we pick way better than we should. For how random it is, we're 21-9, 20-10. That's over a 66% win rate, but like region's pretty random. There's a lot of upsets in this.
Random.
A lot of upsets in this region. We've just had some solid weeks here. We went 6-0, 6-0, and then 6-0, 5-1. And then outside of that, 2-4, 3-3, 3-3, 4-2, 3-3, 3-3. like just all 3-3s. Last game of the week is Alpha Esports versus G-Rex. They're facing each other again. Did they just face? Yeah, they did. Oh, yeah. Well, look at that. I just realized that they're facing. This is a rematch. It's hard to beat a team back to back. I think Alpha will be able to do it though. I think this one will be a 2-1 though. They just showed that they can just flat out dominate G-Rex last week. So I don't think too much is going to change. I think that maybe G-Rex will be able to sneak a game out of it. But with such a dominant performance by Alpha last week against G-Rex, I don't see the changing too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really think G-Rex is going to be able to win this. Me personally, I don't think Alpha's going to win a game. G-Rex is going to win a game. I think Alpha's going to 2-0.
So we're tied. Look at that. Brock, did you lose? Oh, okay. I thought you still had more sentence to go there. So I was like, did I lose connection to the internet?
I did say that I thought Apple was going to 2-0 him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna have like an example or something after that. So I was just like, like did he lose connection? Did I lose connection? But no, that's fine. All right, that's our predictions though, and that means we are the exact same on predictions and the exact same on power rankings, which means clearly it's going to be a 6-0 week. Which that'd be pretty awesome. That'd be my third 6-0 week in 6 weeks. That'd be actually pretty awesome. But so clearly we know exactly, we are on full agreement with the power rankings, full agreement on how the games are going to go. It means they're going to go exactly the way we said. And even the best of 3 game wise is going to be the same. Like the 2-0s and the 2-1s. Clearly. But with that, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to watch today. You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/KingLinkFan. You can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/KingLinkFan. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week or tomorrow actually, for LEC.
Yep.
And Europe's spicing up. There's only 2 weeks left in Europe. Get excited. We're gonna have some playoff runs. All right. See you later.
Bye bye.